On the news, Vice President Akpabio presides over special FEC meeting as regime of President Muhammadu Buhari winds down in exactly 2 weeks. US to impose visa ban on Nigerians undermining democracy. And Senate indicts AGF Malami-led Justice Ministry over 10.4 billion naira judgment debt. Hello and welcome to News Now on TV 360 Nigeria. I am Simisola Adigun. Vice President Yemi Akpabio has presided over a special session of the Federal Executive Council meeting at the State House in Abuja. The session was convened to treat a backlog of over 30 memos from various ministries and agencies of government as the administration wraps up this week ahead of the May 29 handover date. In attendance are Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Boss Mustafa, National Security Advisor, Retired Major General Babagana Monguno, and Head of the Civil Service of the Federation, Folashade Yemi Eson, amongst others. Meanwhile, President Muhammadu Buhari is expected to return to Nigeria on Tuesday to chair Wednesday's council meeting. The United States government says it has taken steps to impose visa restrictions on specific individuals in Nigeria for undermining the democratic process during Nigeria's 2023 elections cycle. The U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken announced the development in a statement on Monday. Blinken clarified that the sanctions were specific to certain individuals and not the Nigerian people or the government as a whole. He said the visa ban was the U.S. commitment to supporting Nigeria's aspirations to strengthen the rule of law. Well, in 14 days from now, Nigeria will welcome a new administration as President Muhammadu Buhari is expected to hand over to President-elect Bola Tinubu on May the 29th. Beyond the glam of the day, political and economic undercurrents hold sway as industry watchers have continued to set agenda for the incoming administration. Now, to speak on some of these issues, Steve Owose, convener, Speak Up Nigerians, joins me now. Thank you very much for joining me. Now, Nigeria is on the verge of a new dispensation and of course tensions are high. Now, what would you say must be done by the incoming administration, to attain a sense of political stability?
Thank you for having me today. The truth is that tensions are very high. I'm glad that the election has come and gone. We still do not know who the next administration will be. Having said all that, whoever takes the reign of affairs in Nigeria, they will need to work together to calm tension down. The whole political parties need to come together to be able to ensure that there's calm and stability in the country. And the incoming administration need to address the issue of unemployment with the youth. The youth is very high for the reason why most people came out to vote on this election. So whoever takes over government must address unemployment with the youth. It is very disheartening to see our youth after graduating from colleges cannot find work. Most of them has resort to committing crimes because there's nothing else for them to do. Some of them work as keke drivers and things like that. I don't think that is appropriate for a student who has spent those number of years in school, to just be roaming about the city with nothing to do. Also,
high.
They need to address...
If you're with me, expectations are also high in the area of economic growth owing to the current realities. Now, how would you expect the president-elect to handle this?
Can you Can you repeat that question?
All right, I said that expectations are also high in the area of economic growth owing to the current realities. Now, how do you think the incoming administration will handle this?
That is very correct, and I think the way out of this is to put a good economic team together and to work on infrastructures so as to be able to attract foreign investors. Without infrastructures in place, it will be hard for us to attract foreign investors who will help us to improve the economic situation in the country.
All right. Steve Nwose, convener, Speak Up Nigerians, thank you very much for speaking to us. The Office of the Attorney General and Minister of Justice, Abubakar Malami, has been indicted in the disbursement of 10.4 billion naira judgment debt settlement to beneficiaries. The indictment followed consideration of the 2017 and 2018 report of the Senate Public Accounts Committee, chaired by Senator Matthew Urogede. Following the development, the committee has ordered the Ministry of Justice to stop further disbursement of the judgment debt. It also ordered that the Committee on Settlement in the Justice Ministry be reconstituted within 30 days. Vice President Yemi Osinbajo has inaugurated the multi-billion naira Kano River Irrigation Scheme. The scheme, CHRIS, is a component of the Transforming Irrigation Management in Nigeria project. Speaking at the commissioning of the scheme in the Bunkure local government area of Kano, Osinbajo said the project is an innovative approach adopted by the federal government, which has opened access to life-changing opportunities for the farming communities that are involved with the project.
The objective of the trimming project is to enhance the productivity of 140,000 farmers within and near the following 4 rehabilitated irrigation schemes in the northern part of our country. The Bakalori irrigation scheme in Zamfara State, the Middle Rima irrigation scheme in Sokoto State, the Kano River irrigation scheme, and of course the Hadeja Valley irrigation scheme, which the President commissioned in Jigawa State only a few weeks ago. The project provides technical assistance for farmers at each irrigation scheme and facilitates strong forward and backward linkages along the value chains. The project itself is an innovative approach adopted by the federal government, which has opened up the access to life-changing opportunities for many of the farming communities that are involved in the project. The project itself also serves as a vehicle to effectively harness the whole potential of vast water resources, the whole of our water resources infrastructure, some of which were built over 40 years ago, but have largely remained either unutilized or grossly underutilized. The main beneficiaries of the project include basin stakeholders, irrigation and drainage entities, water users associations, farmers, rural dwellers, all in the project areas.
The All Progressives Congress candidate Godswill Akpabio has said he expects the number of lawmakers supporting his ambition to be the president of the 10th Senate to rise to 86 by June. The former governor of Akwa Ibom State said this when he led some lawmakers on a courtesy visit to the governor of Lagos State, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, as part of their nationwide consultations with party stakeholders. Speaking at the media parley on Sunday, Akpabio said the 10th National Assembly comprised men of integrity who will not allow Nigeria to be bought. There's more details in this report. The discontent expressed by other contestants over the Akpabio Barao endorsement by the All Progressives Congress National Working Committee has generated heated debate across party lines. As fallout of the peace initiatives embarked upon by major stakeholders in the APC, about 69 out of 109 senators-elect have thrown their weight behind Senate President aspirant Godswill Akpabio and Deputy Senate President aspirant Barau Jibrin. One by one, the senators-elect who make up the Stability Group voiced out their support during a visit to Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu. Leading the campaign team to Lagos, a former contender for the seat, Senator Ali Ndume, while addressing newsmen, said the 69 senators had already appended their signatures in support of Akpabio, who he assured will win with a clear majority.
All of us that you see here believe in this project and are committed because you know what it is, you know where we are, and you know what we need to do. This is not all about Akpabio. It's more than that. That's why he mentioned that for the circumstance we found ourselves, this group is called the Stability Group. Why Akpabio? Because it is the right thing to do at this time.
While expressing appreciation for their unwavering support, the former governor of Akwa Ibom State expressed confidence that more senators-elect will embrace the Akpabio Barau ticket. He said the National Assembly, under his stewardship, would work with the incoming administration for the benefit of citizens.
We will ensure that the members of the 10th Assembly put aside their differences, whether you are from this political platform or the other. Once you enter the chambers, you think Nigeria. We will focus on activities that are for the common good of all Nigerians through legislation. We will work tirelessly to ensure that the voices of our constituents are heard at all times, and we will respect those voices. And we will be very gender-friendly, for your information. I believe that the legislature must operate independently without a lot of influence from the executive branch.
On his part, the Deputy Senate President aspirant said the South-South Northwest zoning by the APC is driven majorly by national interest and to promote peaceful coexistence.
We have decided to zone the presidency of the next Senate to the South-South part of this country. And I want you to cooperate and abide by this zoning formula for national interest. And for me, I believe that whatever interest one should have as a legislator, as a Nigerian, such interest should be relegated for national interest. And I say, sir, my watchword all the time is national interest. For that reason, I have accepted what you've directed me to do.
The race for the Senate presidency remains a competitive seat among various aspirants across party lines, as consultations are still ongoing. Simisola Adigun, TV 360 News. In what many have described as phenomenal, Nigerian chef Hilda Bassi, popularly known as Hilda Bassi, made a historic feat on Monday when she broke the Guinness World Record for longest cooking time by an individual. The chef on Monday morning smashed the 87 hours 45 minutes record set by Guinness World Record holder Lata Tandon. Hilda launched into the competition on Thursday at exactly 4 p.m. when she lighted her cooker. The restaurateur carries on despite having broken the record as she aims to cook for 96 hours, setting a new world record as the first human on earth to spend such an amount of time cooking. Already, congratulations have started pouring in for the chef. Many dignitaries, including the President Muhammadu Buhari, President-elect Bola Tinubu, have shown support for Bassi's quest and lauded her resilience and grit. The European Union has again echoed its willingness to deepen its existing partnership with member countries of the Economic Community of West African States with a view to enthroning peace and security in the sub-region. The EU ambassador to Nigeria and ECOWAS, Samuela Isopi, disclosed the offer at an event to commemorate the European Day in Abuja. Speaking further, Isopi insisted that a democratic, peaceful, strong and prosperous Nigeria is in the interest of Europe and the world. On his part, the Minister of Foreign Affairs described the European Union as a module worthy of emulation for an economic integration agenda.
The European Union and Nigeria are natural partners. We both believe and strongly support multilateralism and rules-based order. We are both enriched by unity in diversity, and bound by shared values and by a common imperative interest to work even more closely together in the region, in Africa, and on the world stage. The European Union is already Nigeria's biggest trading partner, accounting for more than 20% of Nigerian trade with the world, with a significant trade balance, which is in favor of Nigeria. The European Union is also Nigeria's first partner in foreign direct investments, with an estimated FDI stock of over 30 billion euros. European Union companies contribute to the economic diversification and growth of Nigeria, to job creation and wealth generation, and we are key to do more together.
Also have this aspiration, we are further down the road towards achieving a similar integration to what the European Union has, and looking forward, hopefully, to having a single currency.
We'll take a break here, but still to come. Nigeria's inflation hits 22.22% as food prices rise. We'll bring you details of this story and more right after this break. Welcome back. Now here's a recap of some of our top stories tonight. Vice President Yemi Osinbajo has presided over a special session of the Federal Executive Council meeting at the State House in Abuja. The session was convened to treat a backlog of over 30 memos from various ministries and agencies of government as the administration wraps up this week ahead of the May 29 handover date. We also told you that the United States government says it has taken steps to impose visa restrictions on specific individuals in Nigeria for undermining the democratic process during Nigeria's 2023 election cycle. The U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken, however, clarified that the sanctions were specific to certain individuals and not the Nigerian people or the government as a whole. In case you missed any of our news bulletins or for more updates, you can catch us on Limex World TV or log on to our website on www.tv360nigeria.com. You can also follow us on our social media platforms on Twitter, Instagram and YouTube at TV360 Nigeria. On Facebook, we're at TV360 Online. A United States nurse in New York who lost her job because she refused to take the COVID-19 vaccine due to medical circumstances says the experience so far has been frustrating. While looking back at her sack just as the Biden administration marks an end to the health emergency. Gina Vianney Pascal says she decided to forego the coronavirus vaccine because she had suffered a stroke at 36 years old. She expressed frustration that medical professionals were not given an opportunity to make their own decision about taking the vaccine. We'll take another break here and return with business news. Do stay with us. Welcome back. Folashade Ogoride joins us now with more stories in business. Over to you, Folashade.
Well, many thanks, Simisola. The Consumer Price Index rose to 22.22% in April 2023, up from 22.04% in the previous month. The inflation rate data is contained in the latest CPI report released on Monday by the National Bureau of Statistics, NBS. The April increase comes across as a fourth consecutive surge in the country's inflation figure since the year began. NBS said items such as food and non-alcoholic beverages, housing, water, electricity, gas and other fuel contributed largely on the divisional level to the increase in the headline index. We'll take a break now and be back with a review of the stock market. Do stay with us. At the end of the first weekday of trading on the Nigerian Stock Exchange, the benchmark all-share index ASI inched up 16.67 points to close at 52,231.29 basis points, representing a one-week loss of 0.66% with a current market capitalization of 28.45 trillion naira. Now we see that in the aggregate, 121 NGX-listed equities participated in trading, ending with 22 gainers and 21 losers. Now, speaking of gainers, on the gainers chart, we see that Ohando led the gainers, followed by NCR Nigeria with a combined gain of 8 naira 91 kobo. Now, on the flip side, Computer Warehouse Group and NEM Insurance Company topped the losers chart with a combined loss of 5 naira 99 kobo. Now, we see that for a market summary, 626 million volumes of shares valued at 5.59 billion naira exchange hands in 6,033 deals. Now I switch to some of our select global stocks, the FTSE, Nikkei and Dow Jones. Now the FTSE and Nikkei came out on the bullish trend at 0.30% and 0.81%, while Dow Jones ended in the bearish note at 0.11% as traders assess ongoing debt ceiling negotiations. That's it on business news and stock market review. Back to you, Simi, for the rest of the news.
Thank you very much, Folashade. And on the global scene, Turkey's President Recep Erdogan has faced the strongest challenge in his 20-year rule on Monday, failing to secure enough votes to stop a runoff with his opponent in a pivotal election for the powerful NATO member. The result means Erdogan will run against top opposition candidate Kemal Kılıçdaroğlu on May the 28th. Erdogan won 49.5% of the vote, while Kılıçdaroğlu secured just under 45% support, short of the 50% threshold needed to avoid a runoff. Well, it's now time for Entertainment Report on News Now.
Over the weekend, actors, filmmakers and fans woke up to a series of sad news in the Nollywood industry over the death of notable actors. The sad news started with the death of veteran Yoruba actor Adedigba Mukali, known by his stage name Alafin Oro, who was announced dead by his fellow colleague Kunle Afod on Saturday, May 13th. Kunle Afod had expressed the sadness at the loss of a great philosopher and icon with extensive knowledge of the Yoruba culture. While the news of Alafin's Oro demise here to sink down within the creative space, talented actor Obinna Onwafo, popularly known as Saint Obi, was also announced to be dead on Sunday at age 57. According to sources, the actor had been for a while battling an undisclosed illness and had to relocate to his sister's home in Jos for better care, but unfortunately, he passed on there. Barely 24 hours after his death also, another popular actor of Yoruba movie, Murphy Afolabi, died on Sunday. News of his death was made public by the president of the Yoruba Movies Director Guide and founder of Best of Nollywood Award, Seun Oloketuyi. The actor reportedly died from complications from a sleep in his bathroom and is said to be buried at his residence in Ikorodu. Chikezie Uwazie, another Nollywood actor, is also said to have passed on after undergoing brain surgery in the United States. Obey Etok, one of his colleagues, announced his death via social media. With a series of condolences and sadness ongoing in the movie industry, Nigerians are hoping that things get back to normal and their respective favorite actors stay safe. That's it on the entertainment segment of News Now. Tamilore Akinkwoliye, TV 360 Nigeria.
And in sports, Novak Djokovic has reached the last 16 of the Italian Open after winning a battle with Grigor Dimitrov 6-3, 4-6, 6-1, while Iga Swiatek beat Lesia Shurenko 6-2, 6-0 on Sunday. The 22 Grand Slam title winner lost his serve in the first game of the match but broke back immediately, and in game 4 broke again to tip the first set in his favor. Djokovic has reached at least the quarterfinals in each of his 16 appearances in Rome, and a powerful third set ensured his passage into the fourth round, while 21-year-old Swiatek is trying for her third straight Rome title. Well, that's all in our bulletin this evening. Many thanks for watching. I'm Simisola Adigun.